This is always a great idea whenever you're shooting a movie because it enables you to actually see on a bigger screen what you're shooting. There's a reason why the pros do it, and that's because a bigger screen shows you a lot more detail, a lot more definition. You'll be able to see things on a bigger screen that you would not be able to necessarily see on a screen of this size. Trust me. I've actually thought that my monitor, my small little flip out monitor was big enough while I was making my film, and there is so many different things on the perimeter of the frame that I just did not notice. And this resulted in a lot of reshoots and a lot of take twos and take threes, not because of the actor's fault, it was my fault. Oh, so you want to know what you need in order to make an indie short or an indie feature film? Okay, so you'll need camera, lenses, ND filters, 2 extra batteries, 2 external hard drives, white balance card, tripod, boom microphone, XLR cables, a boom pole, a mic mount, lighting kit, gaffer's tape, and a camera bag to put it all in. All right, that's it. Oh, you want details. Right. Hey everybody, Alan Northern here giving you filmmaking tips and tricks. And today I'm going to inform you of all of the gear that you need in order to make an indie film like this.
Stop dreaming. Start fighting for your reality.
Or better. So please help me just as I'm about to help you by smashing that like button so that more individuals can see this video. Now I know that I'm going to mention a lot of gear in this video, but just remember that you don't have to buy all of it at once, okay? I did not accumulate all of the gear in this bag at once, okay? Not by a long shot. Also, I'm going to have links in the description below to all of the gear that I'm talking about in this video. But there is one piece of equipment that I recommend that you grab to begin your filmmaking journey. And this is called a clover key. I need you to grab this right now. It's only $12.99. And with this, you can pop bottles. No, let me stop you. You can do that as well. But it enables you to unscrew the tripod plate off of your camera. And this basically eliminates the purpose for a coin or a quarter that you usually will see people having on set. A lot of professionals have a tool similar to this, but this is the only tool on the market that has a bottle opener in the middle that looks like a clover. That's pretty. And it goes right on your keychain. Anyway, grab it and check it out. All right, so let's begin with the camera. I highly recommend the Pansonic GH5. So this camera has a micro 4/3 sensor. What's that mean? I don't know about cameras. Sure, well there's many kinds of different cameras out there. So there are big cameras that have very large sensors inside of them, and there are small cameras that have very small sensors inside of them. For instance, your cell phone is one of them. So if I picked up my phone to take a picture, since the sensor inside of the phone is small in comparison to a micro 4/3 sensor, the picture you take with your phone is going to have less coverage of the area surrounding the subject of your image. So if you take that same picture or video with a micro 4/3 sensor camera, like the Pansonic GH5, you're going to get a lot more coverage of the area surrounding your subject. Similarly, when compared to a full-frame sensor camera like the Panasonic S1H, that's a camera with a big full-frame sensor, the GH5, a micro 4/3 sensor, would give you less coverage than the Panasonic S1H. To put it plainly, the smaller your sensor, the more zoomed in your image will appear. The bigger your sensor, the more zoomed out your image will appear. Make sense? So this camera can record silky smooth 4K video at 60 frames per second. It also can record up to 400 megabits per second, 422 10-bit 4K footage. In other words, it records extremely high quality video. Extremely high quality. I'll outline what this means in another video if this video does well. But for now, it just means that you can record some very high quality video with tons more color information in your video files. This camera has 2 SD card slots, which means that you can take one SD card out while still recording and replace it with another SD card. so that you can, in theory, have unlimited recording capacity. This camera has anamorphic mode in 6K. This gives footage that super wide cinematic look that you see in movies all the time. But just a heads up, you'll need to purchase an anamorphic lens and also an external monitor with a D-squeeze feature in order to see what you are recording properly in the way that it will actually turn out once you've properly formatted the video in post. You can also purchase an upgrade for this camera which enables you to shoot in Vlog, and that gives you a flat image color profile to enable you to color grade your footage more effectively. This camera also has 5-axis in-body image stabilization, which means super smooth handheld video. And finally, since it's a micro four thirds camera, it has extremely affordable lenses. Which brings me to my next point. Lenses. As an indie filmmaker, you want to start off your filmmaking journey by acquiring 3 lenses with 3 separate focal lengths. Ideally, you want to have a wide lens, a medium lens, and a telephoto lens. The 3 lens types I'd recommend would be a 12mm wide lens, 35mm medium lens, and an 85mm telephoto lens. If you're on a budget and just wanted to get started with the cheapest option possible with the GH5 or micro four thirds camera, then you want to get started with the Rokinon 35mm lens. So you just buy this one lens, you get one focal length, but it has an f-stop of 1.5, which is incredibly wide open, which enables you to get a lot of great bokeh in the background, and it's only $350. So it's a pretty solid deal. So I actually have a Rokinon lens. This is an 85mm, so I can vouch for its image quality. They make incredible lenses. They're pretty great lenses if you're on a budget, and they perform pretty darn well too. If you were confused when I mentioned aperture or f-stop earlier, then please watch this video here, and by the end of that video, you'll be an f-stop professional. And then come on back. So in addition to the 35mm, if you want to complete the lens set, you can get the Rokinon 12mm lens and also the Rokinon 85mm lens. And separately, each of these lenses are actually cheaper than the 35mm lens. But please bear in mind that there is a downside to grabbing these Rokinon lenses. The downside is that you're not going to get features like autofocus that you'll have with native Panasonic lenses. But since you're a filmmaker, you probably don't use autofocus when it comes to video anyway, so. But if that's a feature that you'll miss, then you can just grab this lens right here. It is the Panasonic 12 to 60mm. So this one lens actually gives you a wide angle lens and a medium angle lens and approaches telephoto at 60mm. Cons about this lens is that it's not quite a telephoto lens, and the aperture only opens up at 2.8, which means that you're not going to get as much bokeh or beautiful blur in the background as you would with the Rokinon lenses. Pros: buying this one lens is $897, and buying this one lens is cheaper than buying all 3 of the Rokinon lenses. It also has nano coating, which reduces lens flares and ghosting. And it has a Power OIS optical image stabilization, which gives you smoother handheld shots. Next up, we got ND filters, which are sunglasses for your lenses, and you need them. So this ensures that even though you're shooting outside or in super bright environments, you'll be able to keep the aperture as open as possible so that you can still get that beautiful bokeh in the background or that beautiful blur in the background. When purchasing these, just be aware of the filter size because not every pair of lenses are going to have the same filter size. And to help you out, I put all of the appropriate ND filters matched up with the lenses in the description below. Next up, you'll need 2 external drives, one for the primary and one for the backup. Now, I recommend G drives. I really like these drives. They've never crashed on me before. I'm not going to guarantee they'll never crash on you, but they've never crashed on me, so that's why I highly recommend them. So you need 2 drives in 2 completely separate locations, just in case something happens to one, you still have the other one, and it's fine. Also, one drive could crash. One drive could be stolen. One drive could be damaged. All of these things have happened to me, and I was forced to re-edit everything. Actually, for the Brotherhood, that film right there. The one and only reason why I still have this film here is because my dad told me to back it up a 3rd time in Philly because I had 2 backups in a camera bag which was stolen, broken into, stolen out of my car, and they stole about $13,000 worth of camera gear. Back up your stuff, put them in 2 separate locations. I don't care where it is, could be in the cloud, do that if it helps as well. And I promise you will thank me later. Number 5. 2 to 3 extra batteries. So why do I say 2 to 3 extra batteries? Well, that's because batteries will die on you. as if it's their religion during your shoot. And you always want to ensure that while you're filming with one battery, you're also charging the other two constantly so that you always can swap out a battery and you can just keep it moving, keep that shoot flowing very smoothly. Numero 6. You need a white balance card, and this ensures that your whites are white and your blacks are black. And you need to white balance before each and every take to ensure that your film is the highest quality possible. So you could use the white balance card that I'll place in the link in the description below, or you could use plain white copy paper, doesn't matter. But again, I'll place a link to the white balance card below. So not only do you need a regular tripod, but you need a tripod with a fluid head. Yes, a fluid head, because while you're panning from side to side or tilting from up to down, you want the tilting and the panning to happen smoothly. You don't want your movie to be like jerky and you watch it and then the shot is like, oh my God, you can't, no. You want it to be very smooth, you know, so that's why you get a fluid head. So you can smoothly slide things to the left and right, left and right. So you need audio, you need good audio. And that's why I'd recommend the Rode NTG2 boom microphone.
I didn't think that was allowed. Can't imagine my life without it. And what else would I do? It's the only thing I'm good at.
This is a boom microphone that will meet all of your indie filmmaking needs. So you need a boom microphone, a boom pole, and the appropriate cables that goes with it, so that you can then plug it into your camera. So I'll also have the links to the audio equipment in the description below. Number 9, an external monitor. This is something that you certainly need when you're making a short film or an indie feature. This is always a great idea whenever you're shooting a movie because it enables you to actually see on a bigger screen what you're shooting. There's a reason why the pros do it. And that's because a bigger screen shows you a lot more detail, a lot more definition. You'll be able to see things on a bigger screen that you would not be able to necessarily see on a screen of this size. Trust me. I've actually thought that my, monitor, my small little flip out monitor was big enough while I was making my film, and there was so many different things on the perimeter of the frame that I just did not notice. And this resulted in a lot of reshoots and a lot of take 2s and take 3s, not because of the actor's fault, it was my fault. So let's do another one. Let's do another one. Anyway, this external monitor also comes with a D-squeeze feature, just in case you're shooting in anamorphic mode, so that you can actually see what the anamorphic footage will look like. But again, you'd need an anamorphic lens as well. You'll also need an affordable lighting kit to start you off. I'll put a link in the description below of a very affordable lighting kit that looks dope and is cheap, and it'll get you going. Number 11, this is gaffer's tape. This is very important when marking your subjects on set. The different bright neon colors enables you to accurately differentiate which marker is which on set, and this can also serve a dual purpose as labeling your batteries. So let's say you have 3 batteries on set, you tape one battery with blue, you tape one battery with yellow, and you tape another battery with green. You just call that green, yellow, blue. I think I messed that up, but you understand what I mean. So that you can tell which battery is which. Number 12, now you need a bag to put it all in. Case Logic. They sell great bags. They are phenomenal, they are durable, they are padded everywhere to ensure that all of your computers or lenses or cameras and filters are safe. And your microphones, they'll be safe. They'll be well taken care of, because this guy is a tank. I've taken this thing on hikes with me. I've taken this thing a lot of different places, and as long as you take care of it, it will take care of you. Yeah, this is a great bag. So as far as extra goodies that you could get as an indie filmmaker, you could grab a GLIDECAM, which is very, very affordable, very cheap now, or you could get a 3-axis stabilizer like the Zhiyun Crane. Just keep in mind, after you click on one of those links in the description, that I will be compensated, given a very tiny, tiny, tiny little portion of your purchase at no additional cost to you. that is about it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some value. Please be sure to like the video, comment, and also check out my film on Amazon Prime. It's called The Brotherhood. I'll also put a link in the description below as well to that. It's always great talking to you guys. Until next time, see ya.